wrapping up, many of us coaster enthusiasts are looking forward to what's new and exciting awaiting for us in 2019. Currently, in North America, there are 15 new roller coasters in the works for 2019, which is a little on the light side. Sure, it's a little early to have an accurate number, as more coasters could be announced, but I wouldn't expect many more announcements. So out of those 15 coasters, I'm only going to focus on the quote-unquote bigger rides. Some of those coasters are basically kiddie coasters, which will have no chance of earning the best new coaster coming in 2019. Alright, so let's list the coasters that are scheduled to open in 2019. Here are the coasters in no particular order. Batman the Ride, a 4D free spin coaster by S&S coming to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Copperhead Strike, this is a Mack multi-launching roller coaster being built at Carowinds. Dragon Flyer, a family suspended roller coaster by Vekoma coming to Dollywood. Max Force, a compressed air launch coaster being built by S&S at Six Flags Great America. Steel Curtain, a giant steel coaster with 9 inversions by S&S located at Kennywood. West Coast Racers, a dueling Mobius multi-launching roller coaster by Premier Rides. This is going to Six Flags Magic Mountain. Yukon Striker, a record-breaking dive coaster by B&M going to Canada's Wonderland. Next, we have 2 roller coasters that are going to Nickelodeon Universe theme park. One is an almost clone of Takabisha and the other is a spinning roller coaster. Both are being manufactured by Gerstlauer. Finally, we have a multi-launching roller coaster, which we believe is being built by Intamin, coming to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. Alright, now that we know the coasters that are coming in 2019, let's start the ranking. The first few are rather easy, so let's jump on in. Number 10, Batman the Ride. This is a clone S&S free spin. There are 7 of these in operation and 2 on the way. If you've ridden one of these, you'll have a good idea of what to expect with Batman the Ride. Number 9, the Gerstlauer spinning coaster coming to Nickelodeon Universe. The park is claiming this will be the longest free spin coaster on the planet, and it's going to be interacting with the other roller coaster that is coming to the park. The ride looks like it will be fun, but honestly not the best coaster on this list. Number 8, Dragon Flyer. This family suspended coaster being built by Vekoma looks like it could be a real winner for Dollywood. We've only seen the concept artwork for this ride and believe it will be a clone model, but regardless, the theming and the interaction look to be excellent, which is why I'm ranking this one above the free spinning coaster coming to Nickelodeon Universe. Number 7, Yukon Striker. Let's face it, dive coasters are one-trick ponies. Though B&M look to be mixing it up a little bit with this one, the tunnel at the bottom of the first drop looks cool. The inversion should be exciting, but because this coaster will be utilizing the vest restraints, Yukon Striker won't have as much airtime as I'd like. The section after the mid-course brake run looks extremely pointless. Even that drop out of the brake looks kind of bland, which is kind of puzzling since almost every other dive coaster features an almost vertical drop out of that mid-course brake run. Number 6, Copperhead Strike. This might be a little controversial, but this list from here on out is pretty tough. Copperhead Strike looks to be a great middle-of-the-road roller coaster. The ride has 2 launches, 5 inversions, and some decent theming to boost. But I don't expect this coaster to be super intense like Maverick. It's similar comparison in the States. The ride maxes out at 50 miles an hour, which isn't that fast. Don't get me wrong, I think this coaster will be a fun ride, but the remaining coasters on this list create a tough competition. Number 5, West Coast Racers. This quadruple launching coaster looks like so much fun. Since the ride is a Mobius-style system, riders will basically run the entire course twice. I think it's kind of funny that you'll have 2 coasters in the same park that are very similar, this and Twisted Colossus, but still both seem to have their own uniqueness to be different. What makes West Coast Racers really cool is it's guaranteed to duel every time, which is something Twisted Colossus has had issues with. Number 4, the Takabisha clone coming to Nickelodeon Universe. If this ride operates like the twin brother in Japan, I think this could be a real hit in 2019. Since this will be an indoor coaster near New York City, I can see this ride getting a lot of buzz. Honestly, this could turn into the sleeper hit of 2019. The ride features the steepest drop in the world, a vertical lift, a launch to 62 miles an hour in 2 seconds, and also 7 inversions. If any reason why I'm ranking this coaster lower on the list, it's because it's basically a clone, but this could turn out to be a real winner. Number 3, Steel Curtain. This record-breaking roller coaster looks to be a whole lot of fun for Kennywood, featuring 9 inversions, the most in the US, the tallest inversion in the world, plus a few moments of airtime. This could turn into be another contender as a sleeper hit in 2019. S&S seems to have their hands full in 2019 with 3 different new rides. Since Steel Curtain is coming to my home park, I might be a little biased towards it, but regardless, it looks to be a great new addition to the park. Number 2, Max Force. This coaster is looking to be the most intense new coaster of 2019. The ride features a launch of 78 miles per hour, which you will hit in under 2 seconds. So expect this to be intense like Top Thrill Dragster Kingda Ka. Max Force has 5 inversions, one being a barrel roll at 60 miles an hour, which is the park is saying it's the fastest inversion in the world. The ride looks to be a little short, but really intense. It doesn't look like there will be a dull moment on this coaster. Number 1. The multi-launching coaster coming to Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. I must say, this list was very tough to rank these roller coasters. Some of these coasters look amazing, so it's very hard to figure out which one I thought would be number 1. But I decided to go with this new Harry Potter roller coaster that is coming to Islands of Adventure, which this may be controversial, but since we don't really know much about the ride other than the construction pictures we've seen around the internet, if Universal keeps the same quality of theming that they've been doing with their other attractions in their parks, this could turn into one amazing roller coaster. It looks like it will feature a few launches, possible even a reverse launch. We do know it will be themed to Harry Potter, which is Universal's main moneymaker, so I expect the park to go all out for this ride. I'm a sucker for great theming, and the ride looks to be combining a great coaster, which I honestly would say is probably on the same level as Copperhead Strike. Maybe not as intense, but nonetheless, with a fantastic theming, this is the coaster that I am saying will be number 1 for 2019. So what do you think of my list? Will Islands of Adventure's new roller coaster reign supreme, or will something else take the mantle? Personally, the coaster that I am most anticipated for in 2019 is going to be Steel Curtain. As I said, that is my home park, and honestly, that ride looks great. But again, there are just so many good roller coasters that are coming out next year that
2018 was an amazing year for North American roller coasters, from smash hits like Cedar Point Steel Vengeance to local hits like Central Park Funland's Twist and Shout. There seem to be new coasters coming out in every direction. Not to be outdone, 2019 looks like an equally amazing year, with a wide variety of upcoming attractions across the continent. So for the sake of listing things out, here is every single roller coaster set to open in 2019 from A to Z. But before we get started, here's a quick honorable mention. Firebird at Maryland's Six Flags America. This won't actually be a new coaster, but rather a new ride experience on an existing coaster. As of next year, the park's former B&M stand-up coaster Apocalypse will be renamed and rethemed to Firebird. It will have new sit-down floorless trains in place of its old stand-up ones. This will make the ride experience different enough to count as a new credit, but it's not exactly a new for 2019 coaster, so I decided to make it an honorable mention. Anyway, let's get started with the list. Starting off on the west coast, we have Batman the Ride at California's Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. As is tradition with the Six Flags chain, next year we'll see a new S&S Free Spin opening to the public. This one, however, will be returning to the Free Spin's roots, and will be the first one themed to Batman since the original prototype opened at Six Flags Fiesta Texas in 2015. This compact thrill ride features seats that rotate 360 degrees on each side of the track, officially classifying it as a fourth dimension coaster. Each ride is different from the last, so you never know how many rotations you'll get. Though some have lampooned the frequency of these coasters in the chain, it's clear to see why they're so popular. They provide big thrills in a very small footprint and can be installed pretty much anywhere. Discovery Kingdom will be the 7th park in the chain to get one of these, and even more are bound to follow. Next up is the first Canadian coaster of the list, Bumble Blast at Alberta's Callaway Park. This will be one of several SBF spinning coasters opening in North America next year. These extremely compact attractions offer dizzying thrills to all ages, and are the perfect addition for small parks on a budget. This one in particular will be the standard 2-loop model, which is currently operating in 60 parks around the world. Now that's one popular coaster. Bumble Blast will of course be themed to bumblebees, and will feature vibrant leaf and honeycomb themed trains. Now if only one of those DreamWorks themed lands could open up a bee movie coaster, now that would be amazing. Next is Cinderella Coaster at New Jersey's Storybook Land. This will also be an SBF spinner, but unlike Bumble Blast, it will be a 3-loop model. This slightly longer coaster will give prolonged thrills to families, and will of course be themed to the timeless tale of Cinderella. The new coaster will have ride vehicles resembling Cinderella's famous pumpkin carriage. As you can tell from the clock on the side, the ride will be themed to Cinderella's rush to leave the ball after midnight, when her fairy godmother's magic wears off. Tying in the chaotic nature of that famous scene with a spinning coaster is extremely clever, and this coaster is without a doubt going to be a welcome addition to Egg Harbor Township. Back in Canada, we have Cloud Coaster at Quebec's Mega Park. Set to open in Quebec City's newly renovated Mega Park, this indoor coaster will exist inside the Galeries de la Capitale shopping center. It will be manufactured by zipline company Extreme Engineering, and will be the first of their cloud coasters to feature a rigid seat. According to RCDB, this makes it more of a roller coaster than a zipline. This attraction will give guests a grand tour of the refurbished park, taking them past an ice skating rink and even through a brand new centerless Ferris wheel. It won't be too intense, but the fun factor of this attraction and its dreamlike setting is bound to impress. Heading down south, we have Copperhead Strike at North Carolina's Carowinds. 7 years after Manta at SeaWorld San Diego, the Mach Multi-Launch makes a triumphant return to the US, only this time it will be a much more intense ride. Not only will it be the first Mach Multi-Launch on the East Coast, but it will also be the first launch coaster to come to Carowinds since their Schwarzkopf shuttle loop was removed and sent to South Africa in 1988. From start to finish, Copperhead Strike has quite a lot to offer. Starting off with a Heartline roll straight out of the station, the layout itself will feature 2 LSM launches and 5 inversions. And here's a fast fact, it will be the first coaster by Mach Rides to feature 2 vertical loops. Moreover, its abundance of airtime moments will undoubtedly make it a hit among enthusiasts. Look for Copperhead Strike to be yet another incredible addition to Carowinds' lineup. Heading slightly west, we have Dragonflyer at Tennessee's Dollywood. In 2019, Dollywood will introduce its biggest investment of all time, a new themed area named Wildwood Grove. The main attraction of this land will be the Dragonflyer, a Vekoma 453-meter suspended family coaster. This model is Vekoma's longest suspended family coaster on the market, and has received rave reviews from enthusiasts who rode the original at Denmark's Forup Summerland. Not only will it be accessible to young enthusiasts in the making, but even older enthusiasts will get a kick out of its speedy transitions. You really can't go wrong when it comes to Dollywood, and this ride will be no different. And speaking of dragons, we have Dragon's Flight at New York's Fantasy Island. As some of you may know, Indiana Beach is removing their Dragon Wagon. In case you're wondering where it's going, it will be heading to Grand Island, New York's Fantasy Island. This will be the first coaster to come to the park since 2013, and it will give this family-friendly park another attraction for young enthusiasts in the making. It may be a standard Dragon Wagon, but a new coaster is always a good thing. Not much else to say about this one, except hopefully it won't valley again in New York. Next up is another family coaster, Frankie's Mine at Oklahoma's Frontier City. Six Flags recently acquired this park, and the company wasted no time in sprucing it up for the 2019 season. Coming next year is Timbertown, a new themed area featuring several new rides. Among these attractions is a new roller coaster replacing the park's old Alan Herschel Little Dipper. Frankie's Mine will be a Zamperla family gravity coaster, a minuscule coaster that can be found at parks both big and small. With an impressive 40 of these rides installed around the world, there isn't much to say about this tiny attraction except that Oklahoma enthusiasts will have yet another new credit to grab. And the fact that Six Flags is already making an investment like this just goes to show the potential of Frontier City. Up in the northeast, we have Jetstar at Vermont's Quechee Gorge Village. This Wisdom Rides kiddie coaster formerly operated at Fredericksburg, Virginia's Central Park Funland, an indoor entertainment center managed by famous enthusiast Clint Novak. The ride was replaced with an SBF spinner earlier this year. After almost 9 years of operation at Central Park Funland, it will be heading outdoors to Hartford, Vermont's Quechee Gorge Village. This tourist attraction consists of a series of shops and a few kiddie rides. So after you're done getting the credit, you can stock up on amazing Vermont maple syrup and delicious Cabot cheddar cheese. And believe it or not, it will be the first non-alpine roller coaster to come to Vermont since the 1920s. So Vermont coaster enthusiasts, you're in luck. Now let's talk about Kentucky Flyer at Kentucky Kingdom. Despite a controversial legal battle almost canceling it, this coaster is still on track for a 2019 opening. Following in the footsteps of Wooden Warrior and Oscar's Wacky Taxi, this will be a Gravity Group family wooden coaster. But don't let its family-friendly appeal fool you. The layout will be packed with a plethora of airtime moments to appeal to older enthusiasts. Its colorful train will be themed to a P-40 aircraft, and it will be located right next to the water park. It may be small, but don't underestimate the power of airtime. Look for this coaster to take flight in April 2019. Now for one of the viewers' favorites, Max Force at Illinois Six Flags Great America. This is without a doubt one of the most anticipated and intense-looking coasters opening next year. For the first time since Powder Keg, S&S Sansei will be bringing an air launch coaster experience to the US. After years of development and installations in China, the modern air launch coaster will differ vastly from S&S's original models. The ride experience is said to be much more reliable while still keeping the desired intensity of a compressed air launch. These kind of launches are far more intense than magnetic or hydraulic launches, and Max Force will have the fastest acceleration in North America, going from 0 to 78 miles per hour in just 2 seconds. And with an airtime hill right after the launch and a total of 5 inversions, there's no doubt this will be one of the most balls-to-the-wall ride experiences in the country. Next up, we'll be heading to Latin America with Relampago at Guatemala's Mundo Petapa. Recently announced at the IAPA 2018 Expo, this ride will be a new rendition of the Thunderbolt model by Italian manufacturer Zamperla. First installed at Brooklyn's Coney Island, the Thunderbolt features a compact layout capable of a vertical drop and several inversions. Though initially receiving mixed reviews from riders, this model caught on and has since been installed in places like Alabama and China. Also known as Flash of Lightning in English, Relampago will be the first looping coaster to come to Guatemala since Avalancha in 2002. Its layout will be the smallest of the Thunderbolt models, but it will still pack in a decent amount of elements to suit the park's need for a compact high-level thrill coaster. It really is the perfect addition for a small park, and Mundo Petapa is in for a treat. Meanwhile, on the eastern United States, we have Runaway Tram at New Jersey's Morey's Piers. After the closure of the park's old Zero Flitzer, they'll be ordering an all-new coaster from the same manufacturer. This one will be a Zero Force family coaster and will feature the exact same layout as Flying Eagle at Denmark's Legoland Billund. Interestingly enough, Runaway Tram will open just a year after Wild Wizard, Morey's Piers' new SBF spinner. Along with Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, this makes Morey's Piers one of the rare parks to add 2 back-to-back coasters, something you don't see very often. It just goes to show the popularity of the Jersey Shore boardwalks. In fact, the state of New Jersey alone will be receiving 8 new roller coasters next year, and with the state's border being less than 2 hours away from me, I'm certainly pumped up. Opening up north is Spinning Coaster at Michigan's C.J. Barrymore's Family Entertainment Center. This is yet another SBF spinner, though the exact model is unknown. This time, it will be heading to Clinton Township, Michigan. It'll be the second coaster to come to the park after the opening of a relocated looping Zyklon from Playland's Castaway Cove in 2016. The new spinner will be part of a 2019 expansion that will include 2 other rides, a drop tower and a unique slingshot ride from manufacturer Soaring Eagle. So if you're looking for new thrills near Detroit, look no further than C.J. Barrymore's. And now we've come to Steel Curtain at Pennsylvania's Kennywood. According to my viewers, this ride is the most anticipated coaster coming to North America in 2019. This ride will be S&S Sansei's biggest project to date and will be themed to the Pittsburgh Steelers football team. Opening as part of a new Steelers-themed area, this coaster will break several records on its opening day. With a whopping 9 inversions, it will have more upside-down moments than any roller coaster in North American history. Its 197-foot high corkscrew will also be the world's highest inversion. and with its use of lap bars instead of over-the-shoulder restraints, the ride experience is sure to terrify even the most seasoned coaster enthusiasts. It's a revolutionary and highly anticipated attraction that is well deserving of its hype. Do you think you can handle this coaster? Book a ticket to Pittsburgh next year and find out. On a smaller note, there's also Swamp Water Snake opening at Georgia's Wild Adventures. Much like Kennywood Steelers area, another massive expansion is occurring at Wild Adventures, a small zoological family park in the Hershon chain. In 2019, this park will open up a 3-acre alligator-themed area named Discovery Outpost. This new area will offer several new attractions, including a rope bridge over the alligator exhibit, an alligator viewing and feeding area, and a Zamperla Minnie Mouse. Believe it or not, this coaster allegedly used to operate at the park. Though it is unconfirmed, this new addition may be coming out of storage for the first time in 8 years. It formerly operated as Fiesta Express until 2011, but will still be a new addition for the park nonetheless. Similar to a standard Wild Mouse, this coaster will emphasize sudden switchback turns, but on a much smaller scale. Overall, this new area in general is bound to appeal to all the reptile lovers in the family. Back on the West Coast, there's Tidal Twister at California's SeaWorld San Diego. Opening a year after Electric Eel, SeaWorld San Diego will be yet another theme park to invest in 2 roller coasters in back-to-back years. This time, it will be a Horizon model from American manufacturer Skyline Attractions. The layout will consist of an airtime hill and a Heartline roll connected together in a figure-8 style course. The same manufacturer built Harley Quinn Crazy Coaster at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, and while that coaster received a mixed response from riders, Skyline officials say Tidal Twister will have several improvements. First of all, the track will be filled with sand to dampen the noise, a common complaint parkgoers had with Harley Quinn. The wheel assembly will also be upgraded to a double bogie system, and the wheels themselves will be redesigned to absorb vibration. These upgrades are said to lead to a much smoother ride, and riders who disliked Harley Quinn may be pleasantly surprised by Tidal Twister. Another Tidal-themed coaster is Tidal Wave at New Jersey's Jenkinson's Boardwalk. Yet another ride announced at IAAPA was this brand spanking new SBF spinner model heading to another Jersey Shore boardwalk. Coincidentally enough, much like Runaway Tram at Maurice Piers, this will also be replacing an old Zierer Flitzer. The new SBF model is known as a Spinning Coaster 5.0 and will be the manufacturer's longest compact spinning coaster to date. The layout will be a 2-tier design with a wacky worm-style course and a thrilling small drop mid-ride. Attendees at IAAPA were able to check out the ride themselves, and I could say from experience that it's safe to say this ride will be a hit in the making. Lower on the East Coast is Tigress at Florida's Busch Gardens Tampa. This premier ride Skyrocket 2 will be the 3rd one installed in the SeaWorld chain, and will be Florida's tallest launch coaster. Like the chain's other installations, this one will feature a higher capacity 3-car train and premieres over-the-shoulder comfort collars. According to the park, these collars help the ride appeal to passengers who are adverse to going upside down. As for the ride itself, it will be the same as the chain's other Skyrocket 2 installations. A mild forwards launch, a stronger backwards launch, a 62-mile-per-hour launch up the structure, a slow-motion Heartline roll, and a non-inverting loop. These rides are both tall and compact, allowing parks to pack a thrilling launch coaster into a small footprint. Expect Tigress to be another appealing addition to the park skyline. It may not be the most inventive coaster of next year, but a new high-level thrill ride is always an exciting addition. On the other side of the country is West Coast Racers at California's Six Flags Magic Mountain. This will be the park's 20th roller coaster, making Six Flags Magic Mountain the first park on Earth to have 20 coasters. Sponsored by famous auto repair shop West Coast Customs, this will be the first full-circuit launch dueling coaster to come to the US. Rather than 2 separate tracks though, West Coast Racers will have a quasi-Mobius loop layout, meaning that riders board in one station and complete both sides of the track in one circuit. A themed pit stop section will help sync up the trains, guaranteeing a dueling launch every time. Much like Magic Mountain's Twisted Colossus, the ride will also feature a Top Gun stall, but the added thrill of it being a launch coaster is sure to make it stand out from the rest of the park's coasters. With CoasterCon being held at Magic Mountain next year, I'll certainly be looking forward to checking this one out. Back in Canada, we have Yukon Striker at Ontario's Canada's Wonderland, by far the most anticipated Canadian coaster of 2019. For the first time in 7 years, the fine folks at Swiss manufacturer B&M are returning to Canada, this time with a massive dive coaster that's already generating plenty of buzz. At a height of 245 feet, Yukon Striker will have the world's tallest dive coaster drop. This drop will dive into an impressive underwater tunnel, sending riders straight into the middle of Vortex's helix. This picturesque ride has been custom designed to fit the park's spatial needs, implementing a specially designed layout including a vertical loop, the first one ever installed on a B&M dive coaster. Also packed into the layout is a dive loop and 2 Immelmans, topping it all off with a 360-degree helix over a park path. This coaster, along with the Yukon Gold Rush themed land it's going into, is sure to be a thing of beauty, and it will give Canada's Wonderland a very memorable top 3. Now for the coasters that are unnamed but still confirmed. Let's start off with an unnamed Zyklon at Colorado's Lakeside Amusement Park. Although Pinfari Zyklons have been long discontinued, there are still plenty of them out there, and they are often relocated to smaller amusement parks. One such example is this Zyklon going to Denver's Lakeside Amusement Park. This one coaster alone previously operated at 4 other amusement parks. After first opening at Louisiana's defunct Hamels Park, this coaster was briefly relocated to Branson, Missouri's defunct Celebration City. After just a couple seasons in Missouri though, it was sent to Michigan's Saginaw County Fair before ending up in Nebraska's Funplex. There it operated under the rather unique name of the Big O until 2017. Now Colorado enthusiasts will be able to check it out for themselves. Next is an unnamed Orient Express at Illinois' Grady's Fun Park. While this coaster is fully constructed, it is part of a new expansion area which is not yet finished. This model is a double spiral Orient Express by Wisdom Rides. It will be the first coaster to come to Grady since their powered Dragon Wagon came in 1993, and it's sure to be a welcome addition to credit seekers in central Illinois. Another family coaster is going to Quebec's Pays de Merveille, also known as Wonderland in English. This French-Canadian theme park is themed to several fairy tales. It features several walk-around characters like the Queen of Hearts and Snow White, a few play areas, and even a few rides. Almost 2 decades after adding their Minor Mike coaster, this park will be receiving a much bigger family coaster by E&F Myler. This one formerly operated at New Hampshire's Fort Jefferson Fun Park and features a decent-sized winding layout. It's unknown what the ride will be themed to, but any new coaster going to a small park is a great sign. Up next, we're going to talk about another highly anticipated roller coaster, this one going to the famous Islands of Adventure at Florida's Universal Studios Orlando. Taking the place of the Gone But Not Forgotten Dragon Challenge is a brand new immersive ride experience. It will be a part of the critically acclaimed Wizarding World of Harry Potter and will reportedly be themed to the Forbidden Forest. This coaster, suspected to be made by Intamin, will feature several noteworthy elements in its layout. It's said to feature multiple launches, a backward section, and even a drop track. For those of you who don't know, a drop track is a section of straight track that literally drops down, giving riders a free fall sensation. And there's quite a lot of potential for it being used to simulate Devil's Snare. The Forbidden Forest theme will undoubtedly be a delight for Potterheads, including myself. The forest is home to all sorts of creatures like giant spiders and centaurs, and with the lovable Rubeus Hagrid said to be the host of the ride, how can you possibly go wrong? And finally, we've come to the rides at Nickelodeon Universe, a brand new theme park opening at the upcoming American Dream Mall in East Rutherford, New Jersey. None of these coasters have been named yet, but they have all been confirmed in a recently revealed park layout. First, there's an unnamed family coaster made by American manufacturer Chance Rides. This is yet another coaster that was revealed at this year's IAAPA Expo. Though official details are sparse, it's clear to see that this will be themed to the Nickelodeon brand itself. The orange track matches the network's logo, and the green splatter design trains directly resemble the green slime us 90s kids all know and love. According to the proposed layout, the coaster's course will take guests on a grand tour of the park. This is much like Nickelodeon Streak at Minnesota's Nickelodeon Universe. With so many intense coasters at the park, this attraction will be perfect for the mild thrill seekers in the family. Another similarity to Minnesota's Nickelodeon Universe will come in the form of a new Intamin Surf Rider. Like Avatar Airbender, this will be a shuttle coaster that will launch riders back and forth. The experience will feature 2 spinning sets of seats on the ride vehicle. It's a thrilling attraction that will fit nicely in the park's indoor setting, though no construction photos have been revealed so far, so keep an eye out for progress as the opening date approaches. This won't be the only coaster by Intamin though. In a surprise reveal, it also turns out that Intamin is building a brand new compact coaster model. The specifics of this attraction are unknown, but based on its reported layout, it will be some sort of launch coaster. The twisting layout closely resembles the initial Mach Extreme spinning coaster concept. Unfortunately, only one construction photo has been revealed so far, so we'll have to wait to learn more about this coaster. Another more family-oriented coaster is an unnamed Gerstlauer spinner, and this one will be a real doozy. This pink track spinning coaster will be the tallest and longest free spinning coaster on Earth, with a top height of 85 feet and a total track length of over 2,200 feet. The same model exists at Minnesota's Nickelodeon Universe, but this one will be over 60% taller and nearly 70% longer. Its winding layout will really take guests for a spin, and it will also wrap around the park's marquee attraction, which of course is the unnamed Takabisha clone. Finally, we have the coup de grace of the entire park, and this one looks astonishing. As some enthusiasts already know, this ride will be a near exact copy of Takabisha at Japan's Fuji-Q Highland, a coaster known for having the steepest drop on Earth at 121 degrees. While the one at Nickelodeon Universe will have the exact same general layout, its main drop will be even steeper, with an angle of 121.5 degrees. Like Takabisha, this coaster will feature both a 62 mph LSM launch and a vertical chain lift. Since it's indoors, this chain lift will actually top off in a glass box. This box will protrude above the roof, giving guests a breathtaking view of the New York skyline.
Ever since amusement parks became popular in the mid-19th century, there's always been competition between the parks to have the biggest and most thrilling roller coaster around. This is something that's only become stronger in the 21st century, with theme parks across the globe installing more advanced and unique rides. As many different manufacturers up their game to accommodate the needs of thrill seekers around the world, the past few years has seen more advances in the theme park industry than ever before. But what's next, and which new roller coasters can we look forward to? It's time to find out, as we talk about the top 10 new roller coasters opening in 2019. In at number 10, it's West Coast Racers at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. West Coast Racers is a dueling steel coaster manufactured by Premier Rides and will be the world's first racing launch coaster. The coaster will feature 2 side-by-side tracks with 4 individual high-speed launches. The race covers 2 complete laps, multiple airtime hills, extreme high-banked turns, and accelerating over and under near misses. West Coast Racers will feature 4 inversions, including 3 0G rolls and a 0G stall. There'll be 14 track crossovers and a high-five element, making a total of 30 interactions with the other train. Finally, the coaster will reach a top speed of 55 mph. In at number 9, it's the currently unnamed Gerstlauer Eurofighter opening at Nickelodeon Universe at the American Dream Mall in New Jersey. This coaster forms part of a new theme park and will be located fully indoors. Now, the layout for this coaster may look familiar, and that's because it's very similar to Takabisha at Fuji-Q Highland in Japan. This monster of a coaster will feature 7 inversions, a vertical lift hill, an LSM launch, and will reach a top speed of 62 mph. It's expected for the drop to be even steeper than Takabisha, making it the steepest drop on a roller coaster in the world. The coaster experience will also be enhanced with near misses, caused by the building itself and a Gerstlauer spinning coaster that will also interact with the layout. At number 8, it's Yukon Striker at Canada's Wonderland. Manufactured by Bolliger & Mabillard, this huge new ride will become the world's tallest, longest and fastest dive coaster. It will also hold the record for the most inversions on a dive coaster, with a total of 4, and the longest dive coaster drop at 245 feet. Yukon Striker will reach a top speed of 83 mph, and with a 90-degree drop, it will become the steepest roller coaster in Canada. This spectacular new dive coaster will also be the first to include a vertical loop, with this impressive element standing at 92 feet. Coming up at number 7 is the currently unnamed Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster at Bobbejaanland in Belgium. There's still many secrets about this ride, however we do know it'll be a triple launch coaster, with trains launching forward, then backward and finally forward again. The coaster will feature 4 inversions and is expected to reach a top speed of over 60 mph. The ride will also stand at 131 feet. It was also revealed by the park that it'll be the tallest, fastest and steepest triple launch coaster, with the most inversions in the Benelux. The sixth coaster in our list takes us to Carowinds in North Carolina with the installation of Copperhead Strike. This double-launched roller coaster, manufactured by Mack Rides, will feature 5 inversions, including 2 vertical loops. The second launch on Copperhead Strike is actually situated over an airtime hill and will boost the train from 35 miles per hour to the ride's top speed of 50 miles per hour. Along with being the Carolina's first double launch coaster, this exciting ride is expected to feature impressive theming, including an indoor section before the first launch. We're halfway through our countdown, and at number 5 it's Hakuge at Nagashima Spa-Land in Japan. Hakuge translates to white whale, and this huge project will transform an old wooden roller coaster into an exciting hybrid. White Cyclone was an Intamin wooden coaster that opened in 1994 and was closed at the start of 2018 to be converted by Rocky Mountain Construction. There's still plenty of secrets surrounding this ride, however White Whale is expected to stand at 181 feet and reach speeds of over 65 miles per hour throughout over 5,000 feet of track. At number 4 it's Tiger at Linnanmäki in Finland. This impressive new Intamin Blitz coaster will feature 2 LSM launches, with trains reaching a top speed of 65 miles per hour. Tiger will also feature 4 inversions and will have a total track length of 3,622 feet, making it the longest roller coaster in Finland. Elements on the ride will include a dive loop, an Immelman and an inline twist. The tallest part of the ride will be an 170-foot tall outside top hat, with the director of the park describing Tiger as a roller coaster enthusiast's dream. We're down to the final 3, and next up it's Steel Curtain at Kennywood in Pennsylvania. Manufactured by S&S, this huge new roller coaster will be 220 foot tall and feature 4,000 feet of track. Steel Curtain will feature a total of 9 inversions, making it the highest amount in North America. It'll also be the tallest looping coaster and feature the world's tallest inversion, a corkscrew at 197 feet. This exhilarating ride will reach a top speed of 75 miles per hour. The ride will also be the first amusement attraction themed after a professional football team and will be opened alongside a 3-acre football themed area named Steelers Country. At number 2 it's another conversion of an old wooden roller coaster into a hybrid, this time at Walibi Holland in the Netherlands. Robin Hood opened at the park in year 2000 and was manufactured by Vekoma. The ride closed at the end of 2018 to be transformed into an exciting hybrid coaster by Rocky Mountain Construction. Once complete, the ride will be known as Untamed. Much like some of the other rides in our countdown, there's still many secrets surrounding this coaster. However, we do know that the ride will be 119 foot tall and feature a unique element. The final ride in our list is one of the most highly anticipated roller coasters ever. Universal Islands of Adventure in Florida is set to unveil its new Harry Potter roller coaster in 2019. Billed by the park as one of the most highly themed coaster experiences they've ever created, there's still so much mystery surrounding this huge new thrill ride. We do however know that the ride is manufactured by Intamin, and that it'll take riders deeper into J.K. Rowling's Wizarding World, where you will encounter some of your favourite characters and creatures. The coaster will feature various different launches and show scenes, making it one of the most impressive roller coasters in the world. These are just 10 of the most exciting new roller coasters coming to theme parks all across the world in 2019. Of course, there's many other roller coasters opening at different parks around the world. However, these are 10 of the biggest and most advanced rides coming in 2019. Which rides are you looking forward to?